Now, if we look at our agendas, you'll see several items that are of great importance. And so I'm going to ask our Executive Director, Mr. Kevin Leonard, if he will come forward at this time and talk about our staff. But before they come, let me just say a few things and introduce some other folks to you. First of all, there's nobody, the CEO of the bank and all those folks are in Greenville today, Greenville, South Carolina. But on behalf of Macon Bank, as the director of Macon Bank, we welcome you to this facility. And if you need anything, the restrooms are straight down the hall, the men's room, the ladies' room, the men's room first and the ladies' room. And so if you need anything, you'll find the folks here at the bank more than willing to accommodate you. But let's give Macon Bank and the folks here who worked a good hand for the use of this facility. And with that, you'll hear this name many times, but the logistics of coming to Macon County are really not that easy. Not only for you all, but for the whole board to move. But there's a lady who's been up front with that, who's done an outstanding job, and that's not frothy talk. And I'll explain that to what that word means to you people from the East after the meeting. But, Sheila Samuels has done an outstanding job of getting everything ready for this meeting, and it has been a task. Sheila, if you would please stand. Sheila Samuels is also celebrating her birthday next Monday. We're not going to sing happy birthday now. We're going to wait till more people are there, like the congressman and people tonight, to do that. That's what she wanted. So, Sheila, we cannot thank you enough for your work. We appreciate it very much. Please give Sheila a good hand. We also have with us, and everybody has different relations with their press corps, wherever you're from, good, bad, and indifferent. We in Macon County are blessed to have several good sources of press. Two of them are here today. Ryan, representing the Franklin Press. Ryan, if you would stand. Brittany, representing the Macon County News and other news outlets. We also have Rod Witt. He represents, he films all of our meetings. It's on the internet. And these folks do an outstanding job with our media. With all media, sometimes it's, but these folks do a great job, and these are the folks who actually cover all of our meetings. So welcome them to this board meeting. Seems like I forget something, Kevin. What am I forgetting? Must not be important. Okay. So Kevin's going to come, and I'm forgetting something. Oh, in front of you, you'll see a white box. If you would take just a second to open that white box. What this is a small gift representing not only from the Board of County Commissioners, but from the citizens of Macon County. Our thanks to you for being here. These are all handcrafted by small China. They are beautiful pens, and they're compliments of the Macon County Board of County Commissioners and the citizens of Macon County for you being here and being a part of this meeting. It's a small token of our appreciation, and not only from the Board of County Commissioners, but from the citizens of our county. So thank you very much. It's just a small token of our appreciation. So thank you. Please welcome your Executive Director, Mr. Kevin Leonard.
Hi, members of the board, Mr. President, Executive Committee. Ronnie assured me that the small Chinamen who made your pens do have Southern accents. So that's good. Welcome to Macon County. And I just want to add, it's hard to follow Ronnie. As I think I've said to a group before, that's in the job description is I follow Ronnie, because no one else will do that. that. So that's an executive director's duty. So it's difficult to follow Ronnie's introduction, but just please let me add my welcome as well. And then also compliment Ronnie. Sheila has done an outstanding job. That is very true. Ronnie has personally invested himself as well into all the details of your trip up here. And I want you to be aware of that he has been talking with Sheila, I think, on a daily basis, making sure that everything is taken care of for you. So if there's anything that you need, you give us a call. See one of the staff members around the back of the room. You just let us know what you need, and we'll try to take care of it for you. And I know if we can't get the answer, I know Ronnie has it. So we'll get that taken care of for you. I'm excited about this meeting. We've got a big meeting ahead of us today. We've got a lot of things to cover, important things. We have some action items on the agenda for you. I'm getting ready to discuss one of them. But before I do, Ronnie, President Beal, I wanted to say this. Clay, Cherokee, Graham, Swain, and Jackson. As I said to you at our last board meeting, the first time I ever met Ronnie, he said, "You know where Macon County is?" And I said, "Yes, sir, I do." He said, "Name the 5 counties that touch Macon County." And that's the answer right there. So I think we all know where Macon County is today, and we all know what the 5 counties are that surround it. So thanks for hosting us here in western North Carolina, true western North Carolina. I do, Mr. President and members of the board, have an action item for you. I do not have a copy of this. And you'll understand at your desk, and you'll understand why in a moment. So Rebecca Troutman is not here with us today. Rebecca Troutman had a conflict, and it's unfortunate, but she was not going to miss this conflict. It's Merle Fest. And she has attended Merle Fest for the past 25 years. She has specific seats that she sits in. And she's getting ready to retire. So she said, "I'm going to Merle Fest." And I said, "You should." She retires next Friday. And I hope you received an email from me inviting you to her retirement party. We're going to have a gathering at the office, and then afterwards, the after party will be at her favorite watering hole called the Players Retreat, the PR in Raleigh, where we're going to raise a glass and toast to Rebecca. At that meeting on Friday, we have several honors to present Rebecca. Among those, I am putting before you a resolution to the board, and I'd like to read it to you. And Mr. President, after that, I would like to ask for a motion to approve, and we will have this framed for Rebecca. So if you would indulge me, a resolution in honor of Rebecca Troutman, whereas Rebecca Troutman has provided outstanding leadership and guidance to North Carolina's counties since she was hired by the North Carolina Association of County Commissioners in 1990, and whereas during her career with the association, Rebecca distinguished herself as a staunch advocate for the best interests of North Carolina's 100 counties, working tirelessly on their behalf at the North Carolina General Assembly, with state agencies, and with Congress. And whereas Rebecca is a recognized expert on the state budget and its impact on counties, whereas Rebecca is frequently called on the counties to explain the impacts of state legislation, and whereas Rebecca was instrumental in securing relief for counties from the onerous burden of funding 15% of the state share of Medicaid services costs in 2007, a deal that has resulted in significant savings every year since for all 100 counties. And whereas Rebecca is widely respected for her dedication to and her passion for county government, and whereas Rebecca was instrumental in the creation of the North Carolina Center for County Research, which will positively impact counties for decades to come. And whereas Rebecca will retire on May 1st, 2015. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Board of Directors of the North Carolina Association of County Commissioners, shows its appreciation to Ms. Troutman for the leadership she has provided for county governments during her career, and wishes her and her husband Forrest a happy and well-deserved retirement.
And if you so adopt, it will be adopted this day.
The motion been made and seconded that we adopt the resolution recognizing Rebecca Troutman years of service to this association. And we talked about a lot of things we could have done for Rebecca, but I don't know how you say thank you to that many years of service and the knowledge that Rebecca has and carries, and has carried many years in this association. But you know what this association has, and will again, new folks always come along, and you move on. And as much as we'll miss Rebecca, this association will be strong, we'll keep moving on, and we hope for the best as she goes on this gallivant to Alaska or wherever she's going to. And we hope for the best. I think she's going to spend some time with her in-laws that maybe it's not doing so well. So we hope for the best. So with all that being said, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion is approved unanimously. So we get that framed and we'll move on.
Thank you, Mr. President.
I think I cut you off on that. Yeah,
That's all right. I'm back on. All right. Thanks, Mr. President. It's the power of the presidency right there. Control the microphone. We will take care of that, and thank y'all so much for that. For those who may not be aware, we celebrated Rebecca's retirement at last year's annual conference with a recognition there. We have throughout the year as well at other events, because every time we reach that milestone event, it was the last one. So we've done, this is the last time we're doing that with Rebecca. And finally, when we were planning the process in regular fashion, Rebecca was like, I'm tired of y'all recognizing me again. So in true form, she is, I think, humbled, and she is getting ready to jump in that RV and head to Alaska. But great transition, Mr. President. As you said, I would like to now introduce you to two new staff members with the association. And that I tell you a little bit about them. I'd like Amber and Linda to come on up to the podium, and I'm going to introduce them and ask them to say a couple of words. We are, I am a lack of words sometimes to tell you how lucky I feel to work with the team that we have. We have an extraordinary team at the association. And we've had two new people, one new person join us. One joins us next week. She's not even she's an employee of the association, but we couldn't pass up the opportunity to introduce you to her today, and she wanted to come to Macon County. So first, Amber Harris is our new grassroots coordinator, and you probably have already received emails from Amber. She's been with us for a month and a half, somewhere in that neighborhood. She joined us from working at the General Assembly. She worked for several senators over there, so she is no stranger to the legislative process, and her primary job functions have to do with making sure that our grassroots coordination is taken care of and communicating out and working with the advocacy team. She is a graduate of Bates College from Lewiston, Maine, and she has a degree in English and African Studies. She is from Durham County and lives there now. She has a Master's of Public Administration from the North Carolina Central University. So I would like to take this moment to introduce you to Amber Harris and have her come up and tell a little bit about herself. Amber?
I think Kevin covered most of what I would tell you about myself. I am a very proud North Carolinian and really excited to be working for the association in this capacity. I've had the opportunity to see or meet a lot of you, either at steering committee meetings or at the district meetings that have been sort of a whirlwind these last 6 weeks. And I'm excited to see you here, and I'm excited to be at the NCACC, and I'm available if you have any questions, comments related to grassroots coordinating things.
I realized that after I was started that I stole all our thunder. Oops, sorry. And I'm going to do the same to Linda. So, Linda Millsaps, Dr. Linda Millsaps, is coming in at a time at the association to take over what I said in Rebecca's resolution, the Center for County Research, which was just started. We're at the place now where this is such a critical hire for the association that it's getting ready to take us to the next level on research. And I believe that we couldn't have found the more perfect person to fill this spot. I've known Linda for a long time, and I first met her working at the General Assembly. She worked in the Fiscal Research Division as one of the chief economists. So remember Barry Boardman coming before the board? That was Linda. Linda did that work for the General Assembly and gave them their estimates of what they could plan their budgets on for the state. She spent time also at the Department of Revenue as an Assistant Secretary of Revenue, and also the Chief Operating Officer for the Department of Revenue. So knows a lot about revenue, and in fact, in the interview process, I was told by one of your references, you didn't know this, but there's probably no one else in the state who is the foremost expert on state and local taxes in the entire state of North Carolina. So we're very lucky to have Linda, and I just want to introduce you to her and have her say a couple of words. Linda?
Well, thank you. It is great to be here. I appreciate that so much, Kevin. I will have to find out who said that, because I do know who my references were. And I think it might be a little overgrown, but thank you. It is really nice to be up here in the mountains. What Kevin didn't tell you is that my doctorate is from WVU, so a different state, but it doesn't look that different out the window up there as it does here. So I appreciate very much. In terms of other background things that you all might find of interest, as I said, I was in West Virginia for a while, and in that job I was a governor's fellow and then an extension agent dealing with rural development. And I traveled 1,000 miles a week through a state that looks just like this every single week, meeting with county commissions and local governments, talking about what their issues were and how we could help make where they were already wonderful even better. So I think it really helped me have an affinity for the type of work that you guys do every single day, and more importantly, a respect for how important what you do is every single day. So I'm very excited about this. As Kevin mentioned, I've dealt with local government stuff at both ends. I probably know a little too much about your distribution and sales tax and some of those kind of things. So hopefully I can bring some help and expertise, and I'm just very excited to be here. And I'm very excited about taking over for Rebecca. She's someone I've known almost as long as I've known Kevin. Have great respect for her work and only want to take that and amp it up even a little bit more. So kind of move it forward to the next step. So thank you very much for the opportunity.
A lot of great talent already on the team and building a team as we move forward. So thanks, Linda. And Mr. President, that concludes my report.
I did tell Linda before we started, you got to remember Linda is not yet employed by the association. So we've asked to try to be on your best behavior. So she'll go ahead and come in and go to work for us. So welcome, Linda. And Amber, thank you. And welcome, Linda, to a great staff, which you'll find that works very hard. Next thing on our agenda is something we've added this year is open discussion from your counties. If you have something from your county that you'd like to share with the board, we found this to be most useful. It gives us insight to things that are happening that we would not know about unless we have an opportunity to talk about it here. So if you have something in your county you want to share with the board, we will take a few moments, and we're always interested in hearing those things. Ann.
Thank you very much, Ronnie, for this opportunity, and thank you for having this meeting in Macon County. It's been an adventure down here today. We enjoyed it. And this is a really upbeat meeting, and Linda, I'm really looking forward to working with you on sales tax and et cetera. And that's what I want to speak to today. And I'm doing this on behalf of our Board of County Commissioners. I will tell you that Monday night was a very uncomfortable night at my board meeting, and fortunately, the commissioner who made a motion to not renew their membership with the association did not get a second. I'd like to think that's because the reason that some of the board members are questioning some things is the Senate Bill 369. While this is benefiting a lot of counties, we realize it's not benefiting everybody. And, this particular commissioner felt like that maybe the association had not been as active as they should have been for the 81 rural counties that would be benefiting from Senate Bill 369. And you know that I'm supportive of this association, and I will do everything I can to continue to be a member of it. And I think we will. I really think we will. But I did say I would share this with you. We did pass a resolution in support of Senate Bill 369. Now, Pamlico is not a big gainer. And I want to point that out because I believe that probably all of you got a letter from Senator Brown that had a nice spreadsheet that showed how much your county would gain and or lose if this bill were passed. Well, I will use Pamlico County as an example because we also got information from the association that was prepared by Fiscal Research that showed some different figures. And the reason is, number one, the chart that we got from Senator Brown did not deduct the Medicaid whole harmless funds that the counties have to pay to the towns. That was the first difference in the two charts. The second difference is, in the chart that you got from Senator Brown, it's not incorrect. I'm just trying to show some differences. The total that Pamlico County would gain under this additional revenue would be $1.4 million. And I found out immediately it's based on, the per capita, the population. Well, if you're looking at the entire population of your county and using that figure, then that includes all your towns. So that figure was not what Pamlico County would gain. It would be what Pamlico County and all its municipalities would gain. So we have been in touch with the Fiscal Research Division, and I know they released new charts as of March the 20th, April the 14th, that says this supersedes the charts that were sent out on March the 25th, and I don't know if all of you have had an opportunity to see that. So the difference is now Pamlico County will gain about $220,000 at the end of FY 18-19, and including the towns, it would be about that amount. Let's look a bit truer picture. It's not a huge gain, but for a county the size of Pamlico, it is a huge gain. And in driving up this morning, if I have about one more minute, I did some statistics on some of the other counties. Bertie County, for instance, would gain 115% in revenues, about $2.2 million. And that's on the new chart that has been done by Fiscal Research. And they have a property tax rate of 84%. Now, I don't even know if anyone is in here from Bertie County. But Northampton, their property tax rate is 92%. They would gain 111%. I point that out for those of you that aren't aware of that have a property tax rate of 30 cents or 40 cents, that these counties, everything is being supported on the back of the property owners. And these sales tax revenues would be huge for some of these counties. Now, I know the concern that if this bill is passed, then those revenues become state revenues. And in the resolution we passed, we pointed that out, that was a concern of ours, that we would no longer have control of those revenues. Also in the new chart, if you look at it, even Wake County, for instance, is gaining, but on the chart that I believe that Senator Brown passed out, maybe they were not, I'm not sure. But there's some of the larger counties that are actually gaining too. And I think the message that my county wanted me to bring is, into the association, realizing what our guiding principle is, that we don't want to take funds or revenues from one county to give to another. Well, the message is there's 81 counties that will benefit. 81. Some of the 19 that are not benefiting have a much lower tax rate. I mean, 1 cent in Mecklenburg County is more than my county's entire budget is. 1 cent on their property tax rate. So you know, we're a very diverse state. I don't want to make this negative. We are a wonderful state, you know. We are wonderful, and we're going to work through this. But I just have to let you know, it is a big concern, and I think two things. I really stress what the association did for Medicaid relief Monday night, that they have stepped up to the plate, and that we benefited greatly from that, because we do get a whole harvest payment of $400 and some thousand a year. So small counties were taken care of in that. I also pointed out the insurance rules, and I really believe, quite honestly, that's what's going to keep us in, is the opportunity we have to buy insurance through this association. So I'm putting in a plug for the risk management pools right now.
And thank you so much.
Thank you. I think if you would cut this off, and I would just sit.
No, you're fine.
Thank you.
Now, if you want to comment on the stuff, we're going to have some more discussion on that, of course, in detail. That are probably different from what you heard from Ann, coming up from you in the legislation portion. And we can get in the weeds of this thing, and this will take care of our whole meeting. And we can carry this meeting over to our strategic plan, because whether it passes or don't pass, we don't know when that's going to happen, but it will have a huge impact on this association financially, and you're about to see that in real time here in just a second. Any other thing, if it's legislative, if it's anything in the legislation that's doing that, we're going to discuss it during the legislative time. But if you have anything else from your county you'd like to bring up, you're more than welcome to it this time. Yes, sir, Johnny.
Mike on now.
You on.
On another beat, though, let you know, we broke ground for our public gun range. We're the first public gun range in the state to be built. It's going to be the largest gun range in the state and probably in the region, including something else state. And all of it was done by grant and other than local tax dollars. And the people in the area, they have really rallied and supported my county and supported it. So we're going to let you know, we're going to have this thing up and running somewhere around October, November. And we got some hotels you can stay in when you want to come down and shoot. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, John. Congratulations. Great achievement. Anything else from the counties? Yes, ma'am. Ms. Renee. Yes, push the little button that says talk.
Well, see, ours are always on. Well, because of the nice tour that we had back in Smallwood, I realized that I didn't have a Veterans Memorial in Washington, except for a few little things nobody knew about. So we are now in the process of building a Veterans Memorial. We got together with the town of Chapel Hill and some other veterans in the county, and we had a meeting. It wasn't formal yet. I just got some of the veterans together. They're already ready to donate money. So,
Wonderful.
so thank you.
Thank you, Renee. And let me just say, if you've not had a chance to visit, if it's your first visit to Macon County, you didn't come on the tour, and have not visited our Veterans Memorial, it's just right outside of town on 441 South, just a little ways outside of town. You can't miss it. It's on the left. We know there's a lot of veteran memorials across the state, but those of us in Macon County will certainly put that memorial up with anything you can visit anywhere in the state of North Carolina. So we would encourage you to have a visit there. Kevin.
Thank you, Ronnie. I just wanted to share a little bit of an experience that we're having in my county, and maybe make a few other counties aware, maybe a potential landmine that's lying out there if they have a critical access hospital within their county. We have a company that's been managing ours for the last 5 or 6 years, and their lease expires the 30th of this month. And we've been working to try to facilitate a smooth transition over to a new operator. But what we found out with this critical access designation, which is the only way that our hospital can operate profitably, we're finding out that that is actually something that they are able to hold ransom, and they're doing so. And what they do is currently they're running up as much debt to the federal Medicaid, Medicare, to CMS as they possibly can, and are threatening to dump the hospital back on the county, which will cost our taxpayers about $10 million if they do that. If we don't agree to allow them to remain in our county operating and sending all of the profits that hospital generates and all the cash that it generates, they send that money back to their headquarters in Kansas City. So currently they are letting the hospital run down, they're letting all the equipment So I issue this as a little bit of a heads up to everyone. Don't know what we can do about it. We need federal help. We need help from CMS on a federal level just to remove the ability of these operators to run the debt up and dump it on whoever's left and leave town. The biggest issue is that for the critical access designation to remain in the hospital cannot close even for a day. So if we're going to have a hospital, someone's got to pick it up. If we as county commissioners are going to assure a hospital for our community, we're going to be faced with paying for the sins of this group. So don't have to answer this, just a warning for everyone.
Thank you, Kevin. Is anybody else in the room? First of all, they understand what Kevin just said. It's so important everybody understands that. Does anybody else they know of have that particular problem? Tracy, Washington County has that problem?
Yes, in all actuality, Kevin and I are in the same group. We have the same company that's running the hospital. The only difference is in our case, it's called the Washington County Hospital, but they actually purchased all of it, so we're not responsible for anything. In Kevin's case, it was a lease, so it goes back to them. But still, the citizens expect for the commissioners to do something about it. And we're having a lot of the same problems that Kevin is having with, we don't have the options that Kevin has, but we still are trying our best to find ways to make sure that health care remains in our county.
Well, I don't, Kevin and Tracy, I don't know if the association will be aware of this situation. If you would, Kevin, before we leave tomorrow, make sure that Kevin gets a full detail on that. I don't know exactly what the association can do, but all of us around in this room knows if we lose our hospitals, it is just, there's not much worse things that can happen in the county. So,
Well, the shame of it is we've got a profitable hospital, but this group has figured out a way to extort every penny they can from our community. And when other operators realize they have the power to do this, both across this state and across the entire nation, there's going to be an epidemic. I can't believe that we're the first, victims of this ploy, but it's definitely happening to us. And we've been in contact with DHHS and our legislators. We're not aware of anything that can be done on a state level, but if there's a way, maybe some of
you get those people in Yadkin County fired up enough, Kevin, they'll. But anyway, if you'll give us reports, you and Tracy, because I think everybody in the room can talk. All we can do is sympathize. I don't know what we can do, Kevin, but the association will certainly have a look, because it's. I've just not heard anything exactly like that. So, okay, we got to move on. What else? Mr. Messer, you from the West?
Yes, I'm from the West. You know I'm from the West. Charlie Messer from Henderson County. I'd like to make a quick announcement that we too, a lot of people that was at Sarah Nevada plant, it's complete. Employs about 250, 300 people. Henderson County, I guess it was last month, maybe 5 weeks ago. We're doing I guess it's a 6-part venture with 2 colleges, 2 medical facilities, the city of Hendersonville and Henderson County on a cancer center / 2 colleges. What we're going to have is a big building, and we'll have Wingate using it for pharmaceutical and other 4 identities in that building of the daytime, Blue Ridge College using it of the night. We've been quoted from some of our people from Raleigh that this is the first time in the state this has happened. 5 or 6 entities working together, and it really cuts the cost. If you look at the overall cost, it's about $35–36 million project. That 5 entities in Henderson County, and of course it will bleed over into Buncombe with working with moral mission, which I know a lot of people from the West are associated with, but it's just an honor to really see this through. This has been a planning process for about 3 or 4 years, and it's really come to reality. And I like to commend everybody that has part of it. Like I say, I know people from the West has talked, because we've talked. When you have to go to Durham or UNC for treatments, regardless of what illness they are, then we hope that we can bring people to Western North Carolina in that capacity to serve them in their health care.
Thank you, Charlie. Those of us know a little bit about it. It is a great thing for Western North Carolina, and don't let Charlie Messer undersell himself. He's been a great part of leadership for that being there in Henderson County. So congratulations, Charlie. Yes, ma'am, are you new with the association? Miss Betty Lou
No,
Ward.
I'm really new, so, no, I'm from Wake County too, but I wanted to invite all of you to, at some point in the next few months, to come visit our new courthouse, which is called Justice Center in Raleigh, and we would love to have you. And it just occurred to me when Bill and I were driving up yesterday that we haven't invited you, but you're most welcome, and I'll see if we can arrange something with Kevin to have you come over and just take a little tour. I think you would be pleased for us.
Some finger foods or something might be available, Betty Lou, you think?
Well,
A hot dog or something?
probably could arrange that, Ronnie.
Okay.
Fred can break it in for you.
Yeah, Fred can. But thank you, Betty Lou.
So
I can see right now there's a reputation being developed here. I'd like to head this off in the past.
I think you already have.
But
so many people like
we have saw some pictures and read about the new facility, and we would love to come do that. But thank you for the invitation. We've got to move on. Anybody else?
Can I make sense?
Yes, sir, Mr. Fred.
Just an observation. One of the things, as the young lady was speaking about her commissioner meetings, one of the things that Davidson County really appreciated was the way that this association got behind us whenever we were facing some pretty dire consequences with some property tax, and joined us in our appeal, and it really did an excellent job. And that's something that, if you're not a member of this association, is not available to you. So if you ever run up against something and you need 100 counties behind you, this association is where you get it. And it's a very good thing. And on the other thing is, tomorrow we're going to have strategic planning. And a lot of this issues that we're talking about going forward is going to be discussed. This urban and rural issue is not going to go away. I remember we had this same thing with Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3 years ago. But we need your input. So please make a point to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Clark. We're going to move on. Thank you all. We ought to take this time. We don't want to, we got to, as a good friend of mine says, move with dispatch. So, yes, sir, Mr. Sutton.
I just want to say that Eddie Settle and Gary D, and I probably call Leon in on this too, we love this association, and there's a little thing in Wilkes County called the Merle Fest going on right now. We're going to have steak tonight and lots of other things, but we decided to come to Merle Fest. Shrimp.
Oh, shrimp.
Maybe some lettuce or something too. Yeah, we are. Moonshine is illegal. I do not have moonshine in Wilkes County.
He's lying.
Thank you for having us.
Well,
We appreciate it.
he's just pointing out the sacrifice we've made. I've never missed to be part of this organization, truly. And we respect you as president, the job you've done, and we'll rush back tomorrow afternoon.
I know you will. But thank you. We're going to move on. That time is always special. Some things have been reported on it from Kevin and Tracy. I had no idea. So, a very important item. So we're going to move on.